November students of the month are March Wang, Jason Chung. March is currently an officers for many clubs and is making a lot of progress in his English class. Jason is a very appreciated student and works hard to get the best grades possible, and he's also working really hard in his Rocket Club.
Hello, I'm Matthew Lee, and I'm a PA news reporter. Today, I'm going to interview Jason Chung, who is a month of student. Hello.
Hello.
You become a student of month.
Yes.
How do you feel about that?
I was really surprised that I got student of the month because I was only I'm new student PA this year, and when I got student of the month I was like really excited. I didn't think it was going to be me, but my advisement is like next time for if you want to get a student of the month, maybe I should be like do better in the work for the homework and classes, and be better to the teacher.
Oh, yeah. I was also really surprised because usually new students is hard to become a student of the month because teacher doesn't know that. So I think you did a really great job. What do you think you become a student of the month?
I think I become student of the month because when I in class I like kind of make pretty good jokes to the teacher, and the teacher is like really happy. And I think for a student to be a student of the month, you should really listen to the teacher and do what the teacher wants you to do and turn in homework assignment on time.
Oh, that was great. So thank you for letting me interview you, and it was the Jason Chung who is student of the month.
Thank you.
If you're selected to be the student of the month, you will be looking really good on your college application. But nowadays, grade doesn't seem to be the most important thing that college application are looking for. In California, UCs are thinking about canceling SAT requirements. Let's see what PA students talk about it.
Normally in United States, students need to take SAT tests. It's part of the requirements for college application.
SAT is a standardized test for students, and it is to measure students' readiness for college. But in recent years, there's voice rises since the test result may depend on your test skills, even your preparation for tests, which not everybody has the access to. Let's hear some thoughts from PA students.
I think it got canceled because some people are worried that one test could determine a person's future, and that may necessarily be unfair more than anything, so I think that's why they got canceled. I do think it's a lot easier if you're more fluent in English, because sometimes the language or the words they use on those kinds of tests are really advanced, so it's harder for international students. I do think it's a little unfair because, you know, we all had the same chance and then all of a sudden it's canceled like for 1 year. But I think maybe it might be for the best.
It's not fair for some students because they don't have access to preparation materials. Maybe they think they want to see other things more because the scores are not like the whole part of the person, so I think that's the reason why they cancel. I think it's fair because it's tests on like 4 main subjects, but I think some students will have like a talent in history and science, but SAT doesn't test that, so it might not be fair to those students.
And this is reporter Nikki. Let's move to the anchor now.
In present-day society and in the School Pacific Academy, there are many students with different cultures, religions, ethnicities, and races, and one issue that could be very important to them and into this Irvine community could be racism. Let's go to Dalal to hear more about this topic.
Racism is one of the biggest worldwide issues. Many people suffered from this because of skin color and places people are from. In Pacific Academy, we are trying to prevent racism as much as possible.
Here are some opinions from teachers and students that may have experienced racism.
Why do you think people are acting this way and like behaving this way?
I mean, the simplest answer to that is because people are afraid of things they don't know. They're not really comfortable being in environments where they're forced to act outside their little comfort bubble. Of course, being different from one another, that's just the reality. But I guess some people have a hard time accepting that there are other people with different cultures and faiths, and of course, ethnicities. So just that transition between just being in a more diverse environment is, I guess, a little bit too much pressure for them.
I think it's just that some people think that they get maybe like unfair opportunities, or like they just don't like the way they look or the way they act, and like they like go towards violence. As you can see, teachers and students have both experienced racism through social media, school, and many other ways.
Go back to Nikki and Arya for the next story. Delala Buren, Pacific Academy News.
In this day and on, climate change has a big effect on the world and is impacting many countries. Right now, we will hear what Dari has to say about this.
On this day, climate change is affecting the world and is becoming worse. It is now one of the biggest issues the world is handling. Greta Thunberg and many other schools, including Pacific Academy, are trying to prevent climate change from becoming worse. Pacific Academy News has decided to interview two people that are doing their best to help climate change.
Famous from these protests.
How did I react when I heard about Greta and what she was doing? I was surprised because she was so young. I think she was 15 or 16, and somebody that young with such a deep conviction for the environment and climate change.
So what do you do daily that helps prevent climate change?
So I recently became vegetarian, and because I know how harmful the meat industry is to the environment.
Now we are going to go into Ms. Conti's room and see what she and her students are working on for bringing awareness on climate change. This is reporter Laura Boys signing off.
Climate change is the main reason of wildfires. Let's jump to Alex's video about wildfires.
Wildfires are burning trees more and more every day. In California, Fullerton, there was a new fire, and a lot of people get evacuated. Brandon Cho, a junior at Pacific Academy, gives us some information.
A couple of months ago, I was unfortunately in a wildfire where there was a trail right next to my neighborhood. Because of that fire, we were forced to evacuate and we were not able to get back home until around 12 o'clock. For a very odd reason, I was very calm, and then it was kind of hard for me to grasp the idea that my house could have been burned down. I believe that people should be more aware of what forest fires can do and be more cautious when walking around the trails with things that can get on fire or really easily can be used as a fire source. I wish people were able to be, or I wish people were a little bit more careful with those kind of things.
Miss Conti, Pacific Academy's art teacher, also told us her memories about wildfires.
Hello, my name is Miss Conti, and I am the art teacher at Pacific Academy. Every year we would have wildfires that would come through where we lived. I've been evacuated many times when I was a young student or a young child. A few years ago, I was living with my daughter. Probably in 2008, the fire started very close to our house and came right around where we were, so we did have to evacuate. It's a little unnerving. Usually when you're getting evacuated, it's because it's usually very windy and the flames are coming really close. There's usually a lot of smoke, so it's very hard to breathe. But you try to stay calm and prepare for what's happening. Well, I think to help prevent wildfires in California is we have to stop building in areas where the wildfires naturally come through, and we have to take care of the property around where we live and do brush clearing and things like that.
Even we don't have wildfires in urban very often, but we still need to do our best to prevent wildfires happen. Now let's go back to the anchors at Pacific Academy News.
In the past few months, there was a well-known event happened that many people in this school and many people across the globe are familiar with in Hong Kong. Many people in Hong Kong went to the street to protest for their human rights, and they believe that them protesting was a good idea. The protest has been going for almost 7 months. Many people in Hong Kong are demanding for equal human rights as many other countries have in the world. The Hong Kong protests sparked when mainland China tried to pass a bill that would have allowed them to extradite citizens from Hong Kong when they commit a crime to Taiwan or mainland China. A political party in Hong Kong called the Legislative Council put forward this idea of 5 months, and now many people from Hong Kong want the leader of the Legislative Council to resign.
First, they want the government to withdraw the extradition bill, which they did in early September. Second, they want the government to investigate Hong Kong's policy brutality and misconduct. Third, they want the government to release all imprisoned protesters. Fourth, they wanted China to see the protests in 2019 to be peaceful, and now another acts of violence. Finally, they want the current Hong Kong senior officers to resign. Let's listen to one of our Pacific Academy students' opinion about the 5 demands protesters have.
Hi Jack, since you already know the 5 demands that Hong Kong protesters have, do you think those 5 demands are reasonable?
I don't think they are reasonable. In my point of view, they are totally irrational and illegal. If that's the democracy they want, then I guess it's a totally violation of laws.
Oh, okay. Speak from your perspective. How do you think the event gonna end?
I don't think, I'm not quite optimistic toward this issue. I think right now it's a very tough time for Hong Kong to recover back from the damage caused by the protest. In addition, I think Hong Kong government, including educational department as well as legislature, needs to be responsible for this.
Since we already know the 5 demands for Hong Kong protesters, now we're gonna listen to one of Pacific Academy students' opinion. Do you think they will have those 5 demands?
Oh, I think because there are less freedom in Hong Kong, and Hong Kong people, they want to get the freedom.
Oh, okay. So, what do you think the end of this event will be like? Will the Chinese government compromise?
Maybe. I think this one, it will be ended by the Chinese government.
Compromise. Yeah, okay. Thank you very much. Protest happened in 2019, starting from July, is the world's longest protest in worldwide this year. A lot of people injured and many public facilities destroyed during the protest. The event is so big, it makes people wondering what the event will become. Will the Chinese government compromise? Will the protesters stop protesting? Let's listen to one of Pacific Academy's teachers' opinion about the protest in Hong Kong.
I feel like I know Hong Kongers very well from after having lived there for 20 years. But I do agree with the protesters, especially the nonviolent ones, and it started out very nonviolent, in that when freedoms are taken away and the lack of freedoms become more and more glaring, I think if people want to live in a good society, they need to speak up.
While the protesting is happening in Hong Kong, a huge political event is happening in the United States, which is the impeachment.
If President Donald J. Trump is impeached, which he would likely to be, because the House of Representatives is controlled by the Democrats right now, he will be the 3rd president impeached throughout the US history. However, like the past 2 presidents that has been impeached before him, President Trump is unlikely to be removed from the office due to the fact the Republicans are controlling the Senate. The process of impeachment starts with an investigation, and the House will vote on the article of impeachment if they have enough evidence. It will take 51% of the votes from the House to impeach the president, and it will take 2/3 of the votes from the Senate to remove president from the office. The impeachment has been one of the biggest political events that has happened in years. And just these few days, the House has decided the 2 articles to be obstruction of Congress and abuse of power.
And I think abuse of power is certainly the most important.
right? As the president, you need to act in a dignified way. You can't use your office as president to get something that's beneficial to you. You need to think in the best interest of the country, not in the best interest of your career or your future re-election campaign or your party or whatever. And Donald Trump has clearly done wrong in that respect.
Today, we will be showing you the story from the perspective from people in Pacific Academy.
The anchor of PA News, Ariel, has been updating information of the impeachment. So we'll go ask him about his opinions for this topic.
I think he should be impeached because he has obstructed justice. He is committing a treasonous act by asking the Ukrainian president to investigate his political rival Joe Biden. And he's doing this for his political gain because he's said that Joe Biden is somebody who can beat him in the 2020 election, and that shows that he's just trying to do this so he doesn't have any political contestants in 2020. And I think that is very it's very unfair, and that's something that's not right for the public interest.
Another student vet believes the impeachment to be a test on the democracy of this country.
I think this is a test of whether our democratic system will survive or languish. If Donald Trump gets away scot-free, then that sets a weak example showing that our democratic system is vulnerable to, and that anyone can take over it.
As the impeachment is proceeding, people in the United States are waiting for its outcome. Today, the democracy of this country is being tested by the impeachment process. This is news reporter Jack Jia, signing off.
Last Friday, Pacific Academy brought some dogs to distressed students from finals. Miss Mar had arranged this whole thing. The animals were very cute, and it helped students relax, and it helped them have some fun before they entered the most stressful part of Pacific Academy, which is final exams. Many people got to pet them. It was known as Fluffy Friday, and it was the first time people got to do this. Let's go to Dalal to learn more about Fluffy Friday.
So Ms. Mar organized a Fluffy Friday for students to feel calm before finals. So let's go visit them, PR.
Here are the dogs. This is a male dog. He is male. And these two dogs are females. They're here for therapy and to make students calm down before tests and to make them feel happy and calm down.
All those fun. If you love strawberry scones.
会笑。
Yeah.
Thanks for watching.
Hope you will enjoy your winter break.
See you after break.
Joyeux Nouvelle Année.
新年快乐
新年我们的豆沙豆丝
Feliz Año Nuevo.
chúc mừng năm mới
كل عام وانتم بخير
Naya Sal Mubarak Ho.
What it really means to live life golden. Yeah, we're golden, baby girl, we're golden.